Yeah, g'day, it's Kiwi here. I'm just doing a bit of an instructional video, or a how-to video, or whatever the bloody hell you want to call it, about how to get off teeth on a big ass excavator bucket. These ones were toast and the operators just kept using them, and this one's been worn down to a nub. So I'm a sheet metal fabricator by trade and haven't done anything heavy like this in years. So I had a bit of a look online and there wasn't too many good videos about how to go about getting it done. So I figured I might do one and see if I can help some people out. So what I'm using is this Everlast 325 EXT, just using it on the stick function, and we had this old air arc gouging torch lying around the shop, so I've just hooked that onto there, and then your air compressor goes onto this. This little switch here, this turns your air on and air off, and then compressed air shoots out these two little holes. You use these copper coated gouging rods, and pre-warning, shit sucks. Probably definitely recommend some face and hearing protection because it's loud as shit, and sparks go fucking everywhere. So the more covered up you can get, the less burnt you'll get. So I'm going to gouge away it for a bit and then probably finish it off with the oxyacetylene. But yeah, enjoy. So basically, this is what we got. Welds here, and underneath. So we're going to use these copper coated gouging carbons. Basically, I'm not worried about getting all the weld off at this stage, or I'm just worried about getting these off, which I've done with these two, which was a bit of a bitch. So basically I'm just going to put it on about a 45-degree angle, go through initially like that, then make it a little bit wider so that I can get in a bit deeper. So just basically just trying to get right into the root penetration of where these welds would be on all four welds. I don't exactly know why they haven't welded this little bit in here. It's sticking off the front of the plate about 15 mil, or just over half an inch, I guess, if you're American. You can see this one's got a nice little crack down it already. This one's a little nub. Anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna hit it with these air arc rods, get rid of most of the material, and then once we're almost there, then I'll use the old oxyacetylene and get the last of it off. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, this air arc gouging sends sparks fucking all over the place. So it might look like a bit of a goofy dude, but got the old jacket on. Pays to put the collar up because, you know, getting sparks and shit down your back. I'd recommend one of these things. I think it costs $7 at the welding supply store. Just stops your hair and your scalp getting frizzled, because that's never fun. And then I usually just chuck my old welding helmet on. I did think I was going to put it down to like a shade 7, and it was bright as shit, so I ended up putting it back to like an 11, and that means you can still see what you're doing, but you definitely want to be wearing some tinted shit. Gloves as well. Definitely helps. Chuck some earplugs in because this shit's loud. Yeah, make sure you don't have any flammable shit lying around, because this happens. Excuse the noise in the background. That's the compressor going. Now, I'm not saying I'm any expert, and I haven't done this shit for years and years and years, and I basically had no training before that. So kind of gouged out down the welds. That's not enough, but just thought I'd just show you what I've done so far. Looks like a bunch of bird shit, but it's all coming off anyway. So basically I'll go through and hit that another couple of times, trying to just get all that weld material out. You don't necessarily have to worry about the stuff on here and necessarily the stuff on the side. It's the 45-degree angle where the weld's going to be penetrated the most and the deepest. Obviously that's what's going to hold on to it. So yeah, I'll chip away at this and see how far I get along with the ear arc gouging, and then if I have to, it'll be gas time. Alrighty, so I did a bit more ear arc gouging on this, got a little bit more of the weld out. Now, if you didn't know, if you never used these things before, basically kind of the same as stick welding. Basically, once you've gone over the material, it will leave a bit of a slag like that there, and this in here. If that slag is there, once you go over it again with these rods will struggle to burn through that slag. I know it's not, you know, strong or anything, but it's because it's not, you know, proper solid metal. So basically, once you do a run, grab your old chipping hammer. I've got this air chisel, which makes life a little bit easier, and you kind of just want to get rid of any of that slag, so that once you go over it again to make it a bit wider, it's not getting caught up on these pieces of slag and not burning through. So that's about as much as I cut through with the ear arc gouge on the other ones. Now I'm just going to give it a couple of big bloody hits with a sledgehammer. Probably won't move at all, and then I'm going to get the oxyacetylene on it, and basically with the oxy torch, kind of just wanting to put it on a nice good angle and just getting rid of any last material around there. And then once I've done that, what I was doing was basically holding it like 90 degrees, and in theory you want to see the sparks coming out the other side, so you're cutting the whole way through. Obviously the same on the top and on the bottom. Alrighty, make some more noise. Alrighty, well, got a few burns on that one, but managed to get rid of pretty good gap in there, and I could almost see sparks coming the whole way through on that as well. But I was having a little bit of trouble towards the end, and I think, come on camera, can't see. I think it's my my tips all clogged up with shit. Either that, or I'm running out of acetylene. That's no good. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna give that a couple of good whacks with a sledgehammer, see if it moves at all. If it doesn't move, I'll hit it again with the gas, and just basically keep chipping away at it with the oxyacetylene until I can get it to move with the sledgehammer. And once it's moving with the sledgehammer, then you're pretty much good to go. Alrighty, so I managed to clean the tips of the torch and it worked a lot better. You can actually see a bit of daylight through there now. Basically, towards the end, I was holding the torch. Sorry, can't really see. Holding the torch pretty much flat, so that just cutting through everything down there. Okie dokie. See if it'll move now. Oh, sweet. You beauty. I'm not going to grab that with my hand because it's a little bit warm. Sweet. Oh shit, that's hot. Let's see where I've cut down around. And that is what we have left. Now, I am definitely not saying that I'm doing this the right way. This is the first time I've ever done this. Guys that do it every day probably have got a really easy, simple way of doing it. Now I've fucked up a little bit there. I've put it on a little bit too much of an angle, which has cut a groove into, I think this part of the bucket is called the frog plate. That was just going off someone else's YouTube video. I might be wrong, but yeah, anyway, like I said, I definitely am not saying I'm an expert, but this is just me winging it. And yeah, so now rather than sitting there with a grinder for half an hour, I'll probably just kind of take the top of this thick weld off with the gas. Same with these ones, just kind of take the top off, and then obviously I'll clean it all up with the grinder. Now just got to do the last nubby shitty one. Okay.